Hi everyone, welcome back to Clipping for Coupons with Allie. I am back in the kitchen today and I have a few items here that I am hoping to make into a meal. I picked up this bag of 3-color peppers and onion strips at Stop and Shop for only $2. This is a 16-ounce bag, so I get these in the frozen section, and this just makes meal prep a little bit quicker and easier, and I don't have to do all the chopping. It's already done for me. So I highly recommend this, and they also have a Stop and Shop brand as well that's typically between $1 or $2, so super cheap. So you're going to need 3-colored pepper and onion strips. Also, any kind of round chopped steak that you would like. I picked this up at Stop and Shop as well for $2.91 the other day. And I also have some seasonings here that I'm going to be using. So I have the black pepper, and that may look familiar from my Dollar Tree haul. I also am going to be using a salt-free Mrs. Dash, the garlic and herb. I also have from Aldi the minced garlic, and I also have a little bit of pure vegetable oil here, and I also have a good sized pan ready to go on my stove. So what we're going to be making today is onion and pepper steak, salt-free. So this is a completely salt-free recipe. And the first thing that you'll want to do is put your stove here on medium heat and put just a little dab of oil in the middle of the pan. So you don't want a whole lot of oil, just enough to cover the bottom or lightly coat the bottom. You don't want any of the onions or peppers to stick, as well as the steak. So make sure you have a little bit of oil in your pan, and while your pan is warming up to a low medium heat, go ahead and wash off your steak, and then we're going to put the steak in the pan with the peppers and the onions, and then we're going to add the seasonings last. Now we are going to add in our beef. This also works with beef strips as well if you have them. Sometimes the store that I go to, they offer like fajita beef pieces, and that works well for this recipe as well. But go ahead and layer in or cover the bottom of your pan with the steak. It's okay if it's overlapping, especially if it's thin. So I put all of the meat here in the pan. We have a little bit of oil at the bottom. The next step is to add in the pepper strips and onion strips. Now, this is an eyeball thing that I do. I don't measure these. This is more of like a preference. So however many you think you would like to add, you can go ahead, but I'll share with you how much I'm going to add. So this is a 16-ounce package, and I'm going to go ahead and add about half, so about 8 ounces. And what I like to do is just pour this right over the top of the meat, just like that. And these are frozen, so we don't want to cook this quickly. We want to still have that low medium heat so the meat can cook nice and evenly, and these can thaw out and crisp up just a little bit. So I'm going to leave this here for about 5 minutes or less, and then I'm going to come back and stir it up and also sprinkle over the seasonings. Next, I am going to add in some of the minced garlic that I have, and I would say add in about 1 to 2 tablespoons. Okay, and next we have here our salt-free Mrs. Dash, and generously sprinkle that over the top. They have many different flavors that you can choose. This is just one that we seem to go to. And also we have our black pepper that you can add in as well. Now, I like to cook not necessarily with measurements when it comes to steak, onions, and peppers. I always like to eyeball things, and it's more of a personal preference. Some people like more seasoning than others. Some people like more vegetables than meat. So just really, you can tweak this recipe to however fits your fancy. But now I'm just adding in a little bit of the black pepper, and this is still cooking on that low medium heat. So I'm going to stir this every once in a while now that I've added everything, and it will cook slowly. While this is cooking, you can think if you may want to have maybe some white or brown rice with this. You can also put this into a sandwich as well. If you have sliced deli cheese or maybe some sprinkled cheese, you can definitely put that over this once it is completely cooked, and toast some bread and put it in maybe like a sandwich. You can do many things with this. I've given it to my hubby both ways, both with rice and also in a sandwich, and he seems to like it either way. But just make sure everything is cooking very slowly and this will come out great. So it's just been a few minutes here, and I was just stirring this up. You know that the meat is done when you have a nice brown color to it, not a lot of pink. Again, cooking meat is always a personal preference. So if you liked your meat cooked a little bit more, you'll have maybe more of a crispy mixture here. If you don't like it as cooked, you don't have to cook it as long, but keep it in mind if you are using frozen vegetables that you still want those to be able to thaw out. So maybe take those out of the freezer ahead of time if that's what you want to do. But stir this every once in a while so it doesn't burn to the bottom, and you want to have a nice crispy vegetables and also meat, but you don't want any red. So this is almost done here. The reason why we only put a little bit of oil to begin with in this pan is because, as you can see, once the vegetables have fully thawed out and started to cook, they do produce a little bit of their own juice or water. So you don't want to have a whole lot of juice and overflow in your pan. So make sure at the beginning you don't put a whole lot of either vegetable oil or olive oil, whatever one you want to use. Just don't put a whole lot of it, because this will create some of its own juice. And this is it. Remember, you guys can pair this up with some rice. You can make it into a sandwich. You can do whatever you want. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys will be making this. This is almost done here, and then I'm going to take it off and we're going to prepare this later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to click that notification button so you do not miss out on a single video.